Happy April Fools.
Yo, bitches, it's the first of the month. We're starting a new thing.
And we ain't fooling.
We're not fooling. This is happening every month from now on. Check yo boozies.
Yeah.
Okay? We're going to be your bestie reminder. Get your hands out. Cop a feel of yourself. It's time to check your boobs. I'm going to do mine right now. Jem, talk me through it.
Okay, so my cousin's a doctor.
Well, hashtag sort of a doctor.
Hashtag is a doctor.
No, I mean us.
No, I know, we're not. But I'm relaying this from my cousin, who is a liver and pancreatic surgeon.
Too much info.
But he cares about women's health. Anyway, so you've got to divide your boob into quadrants.
Yep.
So first you feel each quadrant. You can start anywhere on the clock, you know, maybe 3 o'clock, around to 6 o'clock, 6 up to 9. Yep.
Bra on or off?
Bra off, ideally, but you know, we're not going to do that right now. And then press down on the nipple quite firmly.
And move it around.
Move it around in circles and check if there's any lumps behind the nipple. And then the last spot is under the pits, but you follow the line from the nipple to your underarm. So you kind of...
Oh, that's quite lower down.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
Where my underwire digs
Yeah, because people go up here, but it's actually
okay.
low. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There we go. We're going to remind you every month.
Did everyone check their boobs? Because Revz and I have.
Check your boobs. And if make it fun, ask your partner to check them if you want. You know what? I don't trust them. Check your own.
No way.
Ask your
check your own.
I'd rather ask you guys to check my boobs.
Than your partner. Hubs can be quite thorough, I imagine.
I imagine.
He'd be into it.
Anyway, happy first of the month. Pinch and a punch.
We have 1,000 things to do, but we'd rather chat to you. With emails and meetings and husbands and kids, we don't have time for this. Just what you need, two basic bitches with a podcast.
Hello and welcome to We Don't Have Time for This. I'm your host, Gemma Pranita, aka Gemma Pina on the gram, along with my co-host,
Kate Revz.
Happy April. Are we happy to be in April?
Yes, March was catastrophic.
Yeah, get in the bin, March.
What the hell?
So you're welcoming Q2 with open arms.
I have been begging for April to come along. Like, March was not okay. My Eclipse season was worse than yours. I'm talking to all of you. My Eclipse season was horrible. I've clearly been cursed.
Oh, Revz.
No, someone's cursed me and used the power of the universe to rain hellfire down on me.
Chaotic is the perfect word for your March. As your bestie on the sidelines, I was like, shit be chaos for her.
Piling on like shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Like just like keep it coming.
Well, bye March.
Yeah, bye March.
Hello April.
Hello April. Let's go.
Go easy on Revzy.
Come on.
Yeah.
I need a win.
Do you know what you want? A boring month.
Boring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uneventful.
Yes.
Just boring.
Boring as.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Lovely. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Quick little gear shift from me. I know we're being positive about April, but
Go April.
something I want to share. Never thought I'd say this.
Okay.
Feels counterintuitive, but here I am. I've never wished so hard for my hair to grow less.
Okay.
I just want it to slow down. Do you remember producer Kate when she was on the mic last year? Her Not Spawn was this head massager tool
Yes.
that stimulates the hair follicles. I don't know what the point of it is.
Hair growth and thickness and health. Scalp health.
Well, sure, scalp health. Well,
Yeah.
anyway, it scalp healthed too much.
Oh, it healthed too hard.
It did. And now my hair is growing like weed.
Oh, well, you're going to have to drop a link in the show note.
You're welcome.
There you go, DLs. Do you know what? Producer Kate's hair is long and luscious.
It
and I was
is.
like, what do you owe this epic hair to? And she was like, this scalp massager.
Wow, so you're verifying this because I'm always like, I always think hair products are snake oil.
Same. And I'm always Skeppy Sally about all hair things, ingestible things. I'm a bit like,
I really
you know.
think you would have gone Skeppy Scarlet.
I should have.
Better
Ska.
alliteration.
I
Yeah,
agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway, it's
Anyway,
fine. No
I'm
notes.
having an off day. Okay, maybe April is my hellfire month.
No!
I'm not calling it in. I
Stop.
won't manifest it.
Pew, pew, reject. I reject any further curses
Yes.
upon me and Bestie.
Anyway, the reason why I want my hair to stop growing so fast, get out the small violin, but it's because the greys be graying.
Yeah.
You know, I get my hair done. It costs $300 for the coloring and the toning and all the things. And then I blink And the greys are returning.
Yes.
You know, I know I've got that L'Oreal grey coverage thing, but
That one's too high admin.
It
I
is a
feel
bit,
like you
yeah.
need the tap-on one that you don't need to be in a spray booth.
I know.
And then it won't be such a big deal. Look, I know you said tiny violin, and I'm trying to be compassionate, but I'm just like, welcome to my life, says every blonde.
I know. I hear it. I
Yeah.
hear myself, and then I hear the chorus of blondes
We've
being
all
like,
been dealing with this forever.
I know.
So, you know,
I get it. It's my time.
count your days when you never had to colour your hair.
There are many.
You're ahead, you know?
I am.
You've banked them.
I know.
Here we go.
All right. I'll stop
Time,
whinging.
time to join the cohort.
Okay. Turning Jem's opinions down and Revz is up on the pod mics.
No, we make space. It's annoying. It's annoying. And the greys thing, I see it, you know, it's like rapidly gaining traction.
Multiplying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's upsetting.
Yeah.
It's taking over. Yeah,
a thing.
embrace aging gracefully. I'm not feeling the greys. It's
all
all
good.
good.
You don't have to. I'm not into embracing anything anymore.
Just in general.
Just in general.
Yeah.
No embrace. Just defend. Defend, deflect, put it out, fix it up.
Oh my God,
Patch
putting
it over.
out. So speaking of putting it out,
Yes.
do you know what I don't have time for?
What don't you have time for?
Well, what I didn't have time for was putting out the fires of my daughter's meltdowns and school refusal.
oh my gosh, I'm so glad we're getting an update because the DLs have been wondering, how is Raffa going?
Can I confess something?
Yes.
When I shared about Raffa's school refusal, I was so overwhelmed by how many other DLs have either had this experience or were also in the thick of it, which was great. I felt less alone, which was wonderful. But I also found the intensity of it
Yeah.
quite overwhelming because I realized I'm quite porous,
Yeah.
like with other people's energy and emotions. And suddenly I was like, oh my God, I'm not handling this in my household, but I understand the anxiety of everyone else because the desperation as a parent to solve it for your
Yeah.
child, that in itself is overwhelming. And then hearing everyone else's, I was like, I want to fix your kid and I want to help you, but I don't have the answer yet.
It's
And I
also like, it's so individual,
yes,
you know,
Yes.
like what is one kid's school refusal source of anxiety and
yeah.
experience is so different to another. Like even I remember in that ep you said, what's really helped me is getting there early so she can play. But I remember when Teddy had school refusal, it was the opposite. He had to get there right on the bell. So there was no hanging around because then he would cling hard. You know what I mean? Like it's so unique from kid to kid.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate the DMs from DLs being like, I see you, I've been you, it will get easier. Anyway, on to more positive things.
Great. Go, April.
We've turned a corner.
Okay.
It took 9 weeks,
Okay.
but we got there.
That's amazing.
And I'm not talking a 180 whiplash kind of, oh my God, Mum, I love school.
Okay.
I can't wait to go. Look at me skipping down the road and bouldering in with all the enthusiasm of 140 kids. No, that was Raffa in kindergarten. Now it's like, I'm okay. I'm okay about
All
school. Yeah,
right.
okay. Well, yeah, okay, I'll go in.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to take that as a win.
It's a huge win.
Yeah.
A piece of advice you gave me, Revz, which was really helpful because all of my fears around being squeaky wheel, and thank you to the DLs as well. You guys really bolstered me into having the courage to approach the school, approach teachers, because I'm a people pleaser by nature. It's hard for me to be like, hey, because I think there are so many kids at this school. They don't have time for someone like me and Raf. But everyone was like, got to advocate for your kid. Got to advocate. I was sort of hearing this on repeat. And the piece of advice that you gave me, which really was incredibly helpful, was saying, Jem, if you don't let the school know, you're not giving them the opportunity to right this situation. Having the data point of seeing how the school responds to you will help inform the next decision.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so true. So I felt emboldened to go in, spoke to the teacher as a first step, didn't get much progress there, and then spoke to Raffa's old kindergarten teacher, and then spoke to the head of year 1. Anyway, it has transformed everything.
Oh.
And this is the other thing, right? I'm just trying to be really honest about this, but I'm like, I don't want my kid to get special treatment. You know, that feeling of like,
Oh, what do you mean?
yeah, I don't know.
Unpack that a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Like, I'm just worried that I'm like, look, I just don't think that her and the teacher are figuring each other out, and there feels like there's a bit of tension. And then they're like, okay, we'll implement strategies. And then suddenly I'm like, oh, I feel like she's getting weird special treatment.
Okay, that's like the British in you or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I really think you're allowed to put that down.
okay.
Yeah. No, that we want special treatment because there's in a situation.
Yeah, okay.
It's not special treatment because, like, just cause.
I know, but anyway, I've
It's
got
also not special treatment.
No,
it's a
it's not.
strategy to fix a problem.
Yes. No, that's true. But
Yeah.
it sounds so weird. And this is my own shadow work.
Isn't it?
It is. And it's coming out through my child. But I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Now you're implementing all these strategies. That's great. But I hope other kids don't feel any certain way about it. Because, so DLs, one of the biggest solves for Raffa was actually for the teacher to give her tasks because she needs physical breaks from sitting at a desk because she can't sit still in class. So in the end, I joked with the teacher, like, oh my God, use her as your lackey. Like she needs to do jobs. Like she's got to get up and she likes to feel of service and that she's being helpful. And then that will help her focus more in class. And then he was like, I sent her to get the canteen lunches for the class. She handed out bookwork. She tidied up all the iPads at the iPad station.
Great.
And I was like, this is perfect because then she feels like she's helpful to you, which is what she wants. And that kind of gets her on side like, okay, you're allies of each other. But also physically she's moving out of her seat. Anyway, who knew? Something so simple.
Has
would
she
help
ever
her.
had fidgets?
Always.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
And the school's
It's funny.
amenable to fidgets?
Yes, they are. Definitely, of course. But I mean, fidgets are something that daycare told us that she needed because during story time, during daycare, she could never sit and listen to a book. She'd be upside down on the couch doing handstands against the wall. Like there's hilarious photos that I've got of Raffa from her daycare days. When I'm talking as young as 2, 3, that kind of age, where everyone is sitting beautifully on the mat and then in the background Raffa's standing in the window. During story time.
One leg each side
Yeah,
of
yeah.
like transversing.
Yeah, straddling a couch, like just not with the rest of the group because she can't sit still and focus for that long. Anyway, it's been a game changer because I think now that the teacher's implementing these strategies, he's like, oh, I don't have to like pull her into line as much.
It's easier for everyone. Works for everybody. Okay, great.
And then because of this new I'm his helper, I like to think you're his bitch, his lackey bitch, do all these jobs for him. I think she feels like she's developing more respect for him because he's respecting her.
Great.
Yes.
This is amazing.
I know, I'm relieved.
And
genuinely.
And like I'm really impressed with the school that they jumped in
Same.
and like really actioned this. Not every school would give that,
Yeah.
It's really, really great.
Yeah, it's really built my confidence in the school massively. So I gave them the opportunity to help solve it and they really came to the party and it's honestly changed everything.
I think half of Isla's class have fidgets.
Yeah.
Like it's really
It's
known.
a thing.
It's really like we would never be allowed something like that in our day.
No.
You would never. I remember there was one renegade, like absolutely progressive science teacher who was like, "If you need to doodle, I totally respect it. I'm someone who needs to doodle while I'm listening, and I'm happy to let everyone do that. And I'm going to trust that you're not writing notes or anything." And I was like, that's so progressive.
I love it.
Now you can have your fiddle this and your fidget that and your spinny whatever. And like people understand that certain brains need that sort of like double thing going on to concentrate and get the most out of the class.
Totally.
How cool. What a time to be a kid.
Yeah. Anyway, Raf invited me into the classroom one morning. She was like, Mummy, can you come into the classroom? I want to show you my new spot in the classroom. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize that you had allocated spots. Anyway, turns out they do. They have like desks. And then she said, this is my new spot. And it's right by the teacher's desk on her own.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, but you're on your own. And she looked at me and said, yes, Mummy, because it helps me focus better.
Oh.
And I said, oh, did your teacher put you there? And she said, no, I asked him if I could be here.
Okay.
So I could focus better. So I was
Right.
like, amazing.
How good. Oh, wonderful.
Yes. Game changer. Anyway, it's completely transformed our mornings. She hasn't had a meltdown in the evenings about school now in 2 weeks.
Wow.
Actually. Anyway, I'm just so thrilled.
This is amazing. Like, what a result.
Yeah, and it was a real lesson for me
Yeah.
that ask for what your child needs.
Look, it might sound silly to someone if you have had a particular type of kid or your kid's personality has required you to advocate for them. I think what happened with you is Raffa has never required advocacy
Ever.
in her life. She's like steamrolled through life, bowling down every milestone, you know, charging her way into every new experience. And so you've got your like baby giraffe legs on.
I do. I've got my L plates.
Yeah, you've never had to really like mum up in this way
Not at
and
all.
like do this. So I think this is an amazing result and like
Yeah.
really positive end to end and great for Raffa that in a way, like now we can look back now that it's healing, you know, we can sort of go, that's not a terrible experience, you know.
No, and
for her.
weirdly, I reflect on it now, and I'm really proud of her for getting through those 2 challenging months because from a resilience building POV,
Yeah.
like this is actually character building
Yeah,
for her. Like
it
she's
is.
learned,
As hard as that is to hear at the time.
it is at the time, but
it's
in
kind of annoying at the time.
retrospect, it's like, oh, okay, she has taken enormous lessons from this experience whereby she's learnt that, okay, I'm not going to get on or click with everyone in the world, but okay, we can find a workaround. We
Yeah.
can find a middle ground. We can learn to understand each other better because I was doing so much hard work at home trying to reframe her teacher as a positive force in her life, and she just wasn't having it.
Yeah, she's like, you're full of shit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I was like,
you
no,
don't
no, no. I was
know.
like, no, he's great.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
really great, you know, and sharing anecdotes about, you know, mummy had a strict teacher in school and she was like, what year? And how many years? And I was like, well, you know, year 4, Mr. Eastham. I still remember him. You never forget them. But in time, I really grew to like him because he reined in all the kids and we really focused and we learnt lots and we got a lot done in class. And I ended up really respecting and liking him. And so now I feel like this is what the rest of her year 1 experience will be. And I'm pumped for her.
Good. I love
Yeah.
this. Great result. April starting strong.
Yes.
Go April.
Go April.
Woo!
You look so fatigued. Woo! Yeah, April. Let's do this.
No, for real. Do you know what happened cosmically? I'm going to pull it up so I don't just make it up.
I love it when Woo Woo Revz returns because
Well,
she's so rarely around now.
No, but sometimes it's just like undeniable. Something's up.
Go on, hit us.
And I've had enough DMs corroborating it from the DLs.
Well, then it must be fact.
Then it's fact.
evidently.
Actual fact.
Go on, let's hear it.
So this Mercury retrograde we've had, I mean, we all heard that. That gets thrown around like, oh, Mercury's in the microwave. Yeah, cool, whatever. Apparently it's like, is it ever not retrograde? Is it ever grade? What is it? What are you if you're not retrograde? Moving forward?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not just the Mercury retrograde. At the same time, Venus is having a retrograde and there's an eclipse season.
Wasn't there a red moon or
There was
something?
a blood moon.
Blood moon.
Full
That's
eclipse,
it. Yes.
all sorts of things. 3 things happening at once, causing total cosmic chaos, Gem. It's where miscommunication meets relationship upheaval meets karmic plot twists. Why am I a karmic plot twist? Who did I smite?
Someone.
Someone.
Yeah.
And they've gone, fuck that, Kate Reeves.
Yeah.
1,000 retrogrades upon you and some eclipses and some whatever, you know?
Yeah. I'm
really-
so sorry.
Thank you.
Do you think it's because you're a believer that it happened to you? Because I felt untouched in
No.
March, and
some-
I'm scared something's coming for me.
Some people, well, I don't know, it might have affected Cancers
Yeah, okay.
and Gemini risings more.
Yeah, Sagittarians are end of the year kind of shit.
Well, apparently there's some really good Sagittarius energy coming this year, so maybe you're all right, you
Ooh,
know?
Okay, I'll wear that.
Yeah, like the Aries in my life haven't been okay,
Oh no.
you know? So,
Hey, that's Raf. Oh, I've got the evidence.
facts.
And when I saw her face,
Now
I'm
she's
a
a believer. Yeah, there we go. The Aries haven't been okay. If you've got an Aries in your life, check on your Aries.
who have you got?
2, Sissy and Americano.
Shit.
Yeah, the Aries have copped it. You know, it's been a rough time for the Aries.
All right, hang in there, Aries.
Yeah. I mean, Gemini. I think Geminis have also copped it, but Trump's a Gemini, so I don't like to admit that I have a Gemini rising. But you know, I do. So I've just got to face that. That's my shadow work.
Yeah, evidently.
But maybe the Cancers and the Capricorns, because we often are. You know, I don't know.
Often what? You're like,
sorry.
No, Revz, I do not know zodiacs.
What's your mirror sign?
I don't know.
Okay, so Cancer and Capricorn are like twin flamey mirror signs.
Because you share the same
Because
element?
because we're like the opposite
Oh.
of the. So we're like, I don't know. We're facing each other.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't get how it works.
Sagittarians are fire. So a mirror sign of a Sagittarius is a Gemini, apparently, according to producer Kate.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what it just means is when you're in a spot, they're in it with you.
Oh.
Or if it's like Gemini season or whatever, you'll feel a bit of it.
Yeah, right.
You'll like some secondhand Gemini vibes.
Interesting.
In your Saggy world. Anyway, I got enough DMs from other people saying it was people you wouldn't expect it from.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Some closet woo-woo DLs.
Well, not even. Just being like, is that what it is? I've had the worst month of my life. And I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, it's eclipse season. I was literally on the weekend, I laid low because I was like, I'm scared to leave the house. You know?
Oh, yeah.
What is going to befall me on the rough streets of the northern beaches?
Don't call it in.
I'm not, mate, we're so beyond calling it in.
I don't know.
I didn't call all this shit in.
You must have. Like you said, who'd I burn? You know, what'd I
burnt
do?
someone. I did something. But I didn't call it in. I wasn't like, come on at me.
All right.
Give me a test.
Positive vibes, babe. Let's call in that.
I got this all done years ago.
April.
Go April.
We love you, April.
April rules.
Yes.
Do you know what I don't have time for?
What don't you have time for?
Everything.
Apparently.
No. Look. You've always said to me this would be a safe space
Always.
if I went hell for leather, positivity, get a dog, woo, it's going to be great. And then I was allowed to vent and air my frustrations here, and that no one would say, we told you so.
I've never uttered the
I
words.
know.
I've thought them
Yep.
on loop.
Yep.
Never said them to you out
You
loud.
say them with your eyes.
Do I? I try really hard not to. You talk about Buster and I'm like, go to the YouTube to see my reaction deals. So we have more updates on Buster.
Look.
Buster, you're busting her balls.
He's busting my balls, and balls being the operative word.
Oh,
because
okay.
I think the way I can control this thing I can't control is that he might need to go the way of Americano and get the snip.
Neutered.
He needs to be fixed.
Okay.
Because boyfriend just has suddenly become naughty. You know, like out of nowhere.
Okay.
Like he's always been a dog, but relatively calm. And then suddenly he's been like for a dog
Okay.
or for a puppy. He was relatively chill. And now he's a straight up asshole from the land of cunts.
Oh, Buster.
And his biggest thing is he keeps escaping. Now, why? Babe, why?
Where you going?
I feed you the
Your needs are
fancy
met.
food.
But are his needs met?
He's a dog.
But are his needs met?
Literally every need is met.
Yeah, but what need isn't met, Revz?
Well, speaking of DMs and the DLs, who have been all up in us this last few months, you know, with their very sage wisdom, a couple of DLs slid in and was like, is he into sex? And I was like, no. And they're like, my dog started to become an escape artist right around the time that the balls dropped. Anyway, you know how I said he's not a real dog. He's never humped a thing in his life.
Oh.
A couple of weeks ago, there they are.
And now he's on the prowl.
The balls have popped in. There they are. Testes. Big boy balls.
Big juicy testes.
Big boy balls. And I was like, in one way, I was like, well, good on you, Buster. You are a real dog after all.
So can you see them and they're hanging?
They're not they're youthful balls. they're you know, but they're there.
Oh,
I can only liken it to if you go into an Australiana gift shop and you can buy kangaroo testicles.
Never ever seen, held,
No?
felt, explored, witnessed such things. Wait,
If
wait.
you go into
you, really?
take yourself to Circular Quay Gym,
Yeah.
do yourself a favour, go in there and get yourself a pair of lucky kangaroo balls. You can get like a money pouch.
I feel like I should revoke my citizenship.
I
Is this
think you
something
should.
everyone knows about?
I don't know. Tell us, Seals. Have you experienced kangaroo testes?
Okay, can you liken it to something else so I have actual context?
2 ping pong balls in a fleshy sack.
With fur on them?
Well, a little bit of white fur.
Okay.
Anyway, they're suddenly there, and we all took our turn. I saw them, and then Isla was like, "Oh, Mum, is that?" I was like, "Yeah, his balls have come in." And Teddy was like, "Buster's got balls." I was like, "Yeah." Around the same time, he became a fucking menace.
Okay.
So I'm like, he's 9 months.
Newsflash, he's always been a bit of a
No.
menace.
Like, it stepped up,
It's
chum.
oh, God.
It stepped up. It stepped up.
How are you coping?
Because other things, like, he can't help it if he eats food and vomits. He can't help it
I
if
get
he's
that.
a dog.
Yeah.
But this is like, it's like he gets a look in his eye and he's like, I'm going to fuck shit up.
Okay.
Well, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to wreck some shit.
It's intentional.
Yeah,
like
he's fucking with me. Anyway, a couple of deals have told me that there might be a... Now, if you're struggling with the woo-woo, get ready for the next call of the wild. There might be a neighbourhood dog in heat.
And he can smell.
So one day I was like, oh, yeah. My dog started to like need to get out, got out, got a Shih Tzu pregnant.
What?
Yeah.
With consent?
No. I don't think
poor
that's how
Shih Tzu.
yeah, that poor Shih Tzu got herself in the shit.
Oh,
And her
God.
owner should have fixed her.
Oh.
Another DL, a separate DL. Same story. A third DL. Oh yeah, I bet there's a dog in heat somewhere. And I'm like, is this like one of those conspiracy theories or is this the thing? Anyway, he's booked.
Great.
Booked in. Because I'm like, I don't want this shit. And I don't want puppies. What's my responsibility as a dad, like of the dad dog, if Buster were to father a litter?
Oh.
Do I have to?
Do you what?
Do I have to dad up and take responsibility?
Yeah,
and
pay half the vet fees.
pay half the fees.
Yeah, you
Do
know,
I have
help
to-
farm out the
Do I
puppies.
have to raise them?
rehome
Do they need a daycare fund?
Yeah.
What's the situation?
I don't know.
Or do I make money? Do I get half of them to sell? No, that's bad. That's
No,
backyard
no,
breeding.
no.
I'm not
Yeah.
making light
No,
of
we're
that.
not into
No,
that.
No, we're not
Absolutely
into that.
not.
So he was starting to escape and he'd never tried this, never pulled it before. I didn't even think there was access up one side of our house. But he'd found a way through some bamboo under the house and then
Classic.
out the front. And it was literally like, Buster's out the front. And we were like, what? And I was like, oh no.
Oh.
He's found a way out. Okay, all right. So we put like a baby gate, a really good baby gate.
So is your biggest fear that he might impregnate someone else's
No,
dog?
fuck no. My biggest fear is that he'll get run over.
Yeah, by a car
He's still
or a
a
bus.
puppy and we're on a road where he could easily get run over. And we do not need to do this to Isla.
No.
Okay, this cannot happen to
No.
Isla. So we don't want that to happen. We don't
Fuck.
want him.
The trauma.
No. We're like, we don't call it in.
I'm not calling
Don't
it in.
speak its name.
Shh.
Shh. Everyone hide under a door frame.
It's not an earthquake.
I don't know what it is. That's my biggest fear. If he impregnated someone, we'd deal with it. Cannot lose Buster Boy.
No.
And I love him. Okay? But Daddy, I love him. Okay, I've actually loved this dog. Side note, my friend and I were having a thing that only dog owners could gush over the other day where she's like, do you ever just lie with him in your bed and think, I have a wild animal that is my best friend? And I was like, yes, I do. Often I'm like, we have this wild animal that lives with us. What a privilege. Gem's just blinking at me, so it's time to move on.
In defense of non-dog people for a moment.
Because you need so much defending.
No, we do.
Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion that when you declare that you are a non-dog person, people assume that you hate dogs.
Yep, we've been
But the truth is we actually fear them more than we hate them.
That went somewhere I did not expect
Really?
it to go.
Yeah, no, but that is the
Okay,
truth.
all
And
right.
I got served up a piece of content on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
and weirdly, it was a couple from The Bachelor circa many years ago, a season that I happened to watch, an American bachelor couple who have really stood the test of time. They've had a couple of kids.
Good for them.
Yeah, like they're a success story.
Great.
All of a sudden, this reel appears, and it's a long form reel. It goes on for like 3 or 4 minutes. And they're sitting, just looking at the screen, looking very serious in tone. And I was like, oh, what's this? I remember these two from all those years ago. Anyway, they shared a story about how their dog attacked him. I'll try and find the reel and I can link it. If you want to watch it, like maybe dog lovers and owners will get very defensive. And I
Maybe, yeah.
understand because not all dogs
Yeah.
and all that.
Sorry,
it's not a laughing matter.
Yes, it is. That is so funny. We need a t-shirt and we don't have time for this t-shirt that says not all dogs. Not all dogs, not all bears, just all men.
Oh, God. But
not all dogs.
it was such an upsetting story because he was saying this wasn't just any dog. This was my dog. It was my dog and I am his best friend. He's my best friend. And a switch flicked in his brain and he attacked me and he said, I thought I was going to fucking die.
Yeah, because it's a wild animal.
It bit an artery in his, because he was trying to defend himself in his wrists and there was just blood gushing everywhere and it was on top of him and their kids were at home and it was an incredibly stressful situation. I was so distressed by this story because remember OGDLs will know that I've shared a story about how my brother was attacked by a dog when he was on a bicycle, got, chased and his ankle bitten and childhood trauma on full display and all the reasons why I'm fearful of dogs, not a dog hater, scared of them. The plot then thickens because an ambulance is called, he goes to emergency, he gets his wrist stitched up. And then he tells his story of when he comes home from hospital because the dog had to be locked away because they hadn't got to the point yet of dealing with it because he was in hospital trying to get bandaged up and stitched up. And he walks towards his house and he hears his wife go, no, 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 no. And then the dog escaped whatever they caged him in and made a beeline to his owner, his best friend, and attacked him again.
Whoa.
And he was saying in the video, there's one thing being attacked, there's another reliving the attack literally the next day in real time and being fearful for your life once again.
Jesus.
Yeah, really hectic story. And the whole story hinges around a smoke alarm going off at a family barbecue, which then spooked the dog, which then triggered this change in behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah, and anyway, on the video, he showed his arms and the puncture wounds, and it's so hectic. And I know people get very defensive. I know DLs got really upset in defense of staffies and pit bulls. I hear you. I dated a guy who had a couple of staffies, very cute, loving, dopey dogs. But look at the world of people. You get different personalities.
Yeah, totally.
And at the core of it, they're still an animal. They're a wild animal that has been domesticated and then bred
but they're
to
still
become
a wild animal.
But yes. Yeah. I feel the same about horses. You know, I shared the story about Jelly Bean, that fucking horse that ruined me in the Blue Mountains in winter. And, it got spooked. These things happen.
Yeah.
So I get very on edge with my kids going up because Raffa especially, she loves dogs and I love that she loves animals, but she really gets in their faces sometimes because she wants to kiss them and hug them. And I'm a very anxious parent around them.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how I got here. This was not my plan to even talk about this, but I just feel that don't shit on the non-dog people. Don't other us as they don't get it. There's a world of shit going on for us,
Okay.
And
I didn't appreciate that. I just thought you were ugh, nah.
There is that to a degree. I'm not going to lie about the fact that
I feel like the algorithms heard you. It's we need to give Jem some hard evidence as to why dogs are bad.
Yeah, look, I see the joy in Isla.
Yeah.
And
if he turned on my kids, I'd be done, in a second. In a second. It wouldn't be,
a question.
No. Yeah. But, those experiences, of course, happen. They're very rare and they're often breed. I don't know the breed. I don't want to ask the breed because I don't want to start a breed war.
Totally. You can go watch the clip if you want to know the breed. But
point is,
yeah.
I don't want to lose Buster.
No, sorry. I don't know how we got here. And no, Buster,
But he is a wild animal and he's doing all these wild animal things. He's trying to dig under the fence, whatever, put the baby gate up and he fucking figured out a way to get over it, right? And out the same thing. I was like, fuck, make it higher, add a box, add cable ties, add this, add wire. And he kept getting through. We went to Bunnings, we bought privacy screens, lattice things, and we put them together and we cable tied because I don't own this house, so I can't just put in gates.
Can't drill shit in.
Yeah. So we're doing all that. He fucking punched through.
Actually?
I don't know. I didn't see him do it, but he's in lattice, it's 4 whatever. He's
Made a hole.
made a hole.
Wow.
And then me and Americano had a big blue because he was trying to do it for me because I'm an invalid
Well,
now.
I feel for Americano because your problems have become his problems.
Yeah, all my problems are now his problems because I'm an invalid who needs things done for her. And then like he did many versions and Buster still kept getting out.
Fuck.
And then finally he went to Bunnings and he got the tall things and then we're like, cool, sweet, relax.
The amount of money.
Oh, mate, I can't. I'm in the thousands.
Oh, fuck.
I'm
For
in-
real?
Yeah, I'm folding laundry thinking, I'm so glad we sorted that. Stressful day, but it's sorted. I get this call and it's like, it's actually the good mum's husband who lives near us. And I get this call and I'm like, hello? And he goes, your dog's outside. And I was like, what the fuck?
That's so lucky that he recognized him.
Yeah. Anyway, and I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like
once again.
and I was just in the filthiest mood. It was like all of March landed on me on this one incident. And I was like, what am I supposed to do? I have to lock him inside?
So what did you do?
I'm like, I may as well be back in a fucking apartment, where I'm paying half the amount to live with this stupid yard that I got for this stupid dog, for the stupid kids, with this stupid life choice.
Oh,
Anyway,
Revz.
no, then we had this almighty blue because the light was going down. It was about to, I saved it. It was literally on the road about to get squashed by a bus.
Shit.
I hobble out there, re-hurt my toe, and I pick up this giant dog and limp back inside. And I gave my partner the filthiest set of daggers. And then I silently in my huff march outside with all the tools and fucking create, the woman version, which is fucking done. Then we have a huge fight and he's like, I tried. I went to Buddy's like, trying is not getting the job done. And now my relationship's in tatters because of this stupid animal. That's, and then Isla calls me. She's like, are you okay? And I was like, no. And then I tell her and I shouldn't have told her. And she's like, oh my God, is he going to get out? Is he okay? And I was like, you know what?
He takes up a lot of oxygen, doesn't he? Look, DLs, for context, added context, I was on the phone to Revz and literally she was like, I got to go. And I was like, what? She's like, Buster got out. Yeah. And then she hung up on me. And then, I was worried about him too.
I know. She's like, I weirdly care for his well-being.
I do. I weirdly care for his well-being because I actually care about Isla. Yeah, that's the root of it all.
Okay, we've only got 15 years of this to
just
go.
15 more years of Buster. Busting your balls.
Jam.
What?
Someone
I just don't want this mental load for you. This is so much additional admin.
I know. And you know what?
So much.
I just made this decision in a time. This is just a reminder. Okay? I made this decision in a time when life was very settled. It was very calm.
It was.
The year was winding up. Things were really good. Kids were great. Everything was very peaceful.
You know what it's giving? Mat leave.
It's giving mat leave.
It's giving, I'm on mat leave.
Yeah.
I'm going to start
but
a business.
not the mat leave when you've had the baby. The mat leave when you've finished up work but you haven't yet had the baby.
Yeah.
You make some dumb decision.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to renovate my house. I'm going to start a small business. I'm going to start a kids' clothing line.
Yep.
I'm going to finally organise that wardrobe.
Yeah, no, well, that's fine. But no, don't make any permanent decisions in a good time. I think we should make all our decisions when we're under stress. You know what? I should have made more decisions in March. Because it's like, no.
But you had no capacity back.
No, but that's the good thing.
Yeah.
This is my theory.
It's like going to the supermarket on an empty stomach.
Don't do that.
Never do that.
Never do that.
Never do that.
Make your important decisions when you're under intense stress.
with a full belly.
Because with a full belly. Because you know what? You know what I've been quite good at in March? Batting off other people's bullshit. Because I don't have any space.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. I say no to that. I'm not available. I don't have time for your shit. Because I don't. Whereas when I'm cool, chill, life was easy, I was like, yeah, I'd love to come to that thing.
I can hold space for your problems.
Oh my God, give me all your trauma. I'll take on that Instagram job,
Yeah.
No, right now I'm like, no, I'm full. We're closed.
Okay.
We are closed.
So, positive reframe. You put up some healthy boundaries.
Yeah, I need to put up a literal boundary. Build the wall.
You had more of a gave less fucks attitude.
Yep.
This is all positive.
Yep. Yeah, I got my tools out.
Yeah.
Some carpentry skills.
Yeah, you proved you need no one. Fierce independent woman.
It doesn't
you,
do
babe.
well for the man hating.
Yeah, I know.
He did try very hard.
Okay.
But bitch me in this fight or flight moment. was very mean.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just do it myself. Like everything else. You know, and it wasn't my finest moment. Anyway, that's what I don't have time for.
Okay.
Anyway, a palate cleanse. Hit me with your nut spawn.
Have I got a not spawn for you? It's a bathroom bin. Guys, I'm back on the bin train. We know.
She's a binfluencer.
I am. I'm a binfluencer.
Sorry, as I said it, I didn't realize it would have such a great ring to
Yeah,
it.
you nailed it.
Our resident binfluencer.
That's me. I do research. I take the time. Consider. I
Really?
mull it over.
Do
Well,
you?
bins are a strong area of interest.
Are you all right?
No. Because March happened
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
And I feel like by proxy.
Secondhand chaos.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
But can
You
we
mull
talk?
over bins?
I do. And because I spent so long thinking about the bin for our kitchen and to great success, can I just say,
Great.
it's got a warranty.
Ah.
The qual is 10 out of 10. It's doing its thing. The pedal hasn't loosened. It's a thing of beauty. I love it. Anyway, bathroom bins. I feel like this is a space where we just get whatever from whatever store. And we're like, bathroom bin, who cares?
Yeah.
I want an aesthetically pleasing and functional bathroom bin. One that has function and beauty. And I think I found it. It's on Amazon. I'm going to buy it. It's $39. Do we think that's reasonable? It's a 6-liter bin. It's quite
I never
streamlined.
understand why bins are in liters. You pouring milk in there.
Yeah, because it's yes, Revz. But how else are you going to measure it? By
I don't know.
height?
By
Like it's 30 centimeters tall. Like no,
I
people want the literage.
I want it measured by dinner waste. How many dinner wastes fit in that bin?
How many pads fit?
How many
super
soiled
pads?
pads? How many newborn nappies?
How many toilet rolls does it hold? Anyway, it's really pretty. It's got this like ribbed surface, like corrugated iron look, but white. You know, I'm not selling it.
She may be a binfluencer, but she's not a bin copywriter.
No, not today.
Corrugated iron, but white. A ribbed
Yeah.
profile.
Yeah, go on. Copywriter.
Profile.
Okay, sure. A ribbed profile.
Lovely.
But it's sort of oval, oblongy
Gorge.
shaped. It's pretty. It's really
Don't
pretty.
try and throw your mouthwash receptacle in there.
Why not?
Oval shaped.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Stuck halfway. Now you've only got 3 liters.
Too granular, too detailed. Never thought I'd say that, but it's true. And I like that it's a very simple push pop button release hatch lid.
You have to push it open.
yeah.
The bathroom's for a chuck bin.
No, I
You
don't
gotta-
want it open. I don't want to see what's in there.
You've
I don't want
gotta
to
be
see.
able to chuck stuff in your bathroom bin.
I don't want to see the Q-tips. I don't want to see the used dental floss with
Fair.
the bits of red on it where your gums were bleeding. And
Too much. You know what? Too much detail in
Do you
your
know what?
horrible stories today. Okay. Well, anyway, have you got a link for us?
yes, I'll
Good.
put a link in the show notes.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know that there are DLs.
We need to give Jem a job. I think she's got too much time if she can do research on a bin for the bathroom.
Yeah, I need a new project.
Okay, let's find you one.
Thank you. Hit me with your nut spawn.
Look, some would say this is not a not spawn, but I've done this before and it's gone down well. DLs, my not spawn is make an omelette.
Wait, what?
I haven't made an omelette in a really long time.
Okay.
And long story short, we thought we had meat, didn't have meat, and then we suddenly had no dinner. And I was like, fuck, what are we going to make for dinner? And I was like, I guess I'll whip up an omelette. God, omelettes are good.
I enjoy an omelette.
Delicious. So nutritious. Eat the rainbow. Great for your gut health.
Question, what do you put in it?
Oh, well, I just had to put whatever I had. But I had ham, onion, capsicum, cherry tomatoes, baby spinach, goat's cheese. I had some roast pumpkin from a food prep
Oof.
thing. I chucked that in there.
You pack an omelette.
It was packed. Delish.
just on its own?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never put toast with an omelette. I'm like, that's like putting spaghetti on a pizza.
Can I make an offering to your omelette?
Please.
Because we know I don't cook. However, omelettes are something Thai omelettes is
That's
something I do really
cooking.
well. Yes, thank you. The secret ingredient to a Thai omelette is fish sauce.
Of course it is.
A lot of it.
Yep.
So delicious.
Mm.
And the oil piping hot before you chuck it all in.
No, but then it goes,
Yes, that's what you want.
oh, I don't want
Yeah,
that. No, just like the hot chips. I like a fluffy, gentle,
No, you want-
almost scrambled egg omelette.
No, you want a petrified omelette from the heat.
It's rubbery.
No, it's not. It's not. We're
Sorry,
not-
for people not watching on YouTube, when I went silently, I went I did a petrified motion.
She did. Anyway, then you flip it, blah, blah, blah. Then put it on a little mountain of rice, Maggi sauce. Mwah, chef's kiss. It's my kid's favorite.
Okay, I made more of a Mediterranean offering.
You did. And yours is eat the rainbow. Mine is eat the fish.
Mine is eat beige. Live beige, eat beige.
Be beige.
Be beige. You know what? This has been chaotic, like March, and we're going to wrap it up
We are wrapping it up because we are putting it in the
in
past.
the bin.
Yeah, DLs.
It's a new month.
It's going to be a whole new us next week. Just you wait.
Just you wait. You will not even. Who are they?
Who
They're so
are
centered.
they?
They're so articulate. You know, we know it's been a wild day, but hopefully you just get it because I think we've all been feeling the same feelings. If I don't know, we have.
DLs, holidays are around the corner.
Yeah.
Hang in there.
May your children go to school happily and your dogs stay in their expensive yards.
And as always, we'll be back in your ears bright and early on Friday with a Bestie hotline.
Unless you are a very best bestie and you are getting a more time. Hey, just a little shout out. We've had a few DMs lately of people saying, oh my God, my bestie lives in the UK and I sent her your podcast because she was homesick and now she's a DL in the DL community. And we thought, that is so cool. So if you have a Aussie bestie living overseas or if you live overseas and you have an Aussie bestie, it goes both ways, that needs to come into the mothers group, share our
Absolutely.
show, recruit the DLs. The more of us, the merry.
I've got a
Yeah.
few friends who live in the US who are Aussies living abroad, and they say listening to the episodes is like having a little piece of home in their ears.
Oh, I love
and
that.
it cures the homesickness
Yeah.
and makes them feel connected to their motherland.
Yes, I remember when I was living in the UK how much I needed my Aussie podcast for that exact reason. So
MGP.
share the DL community with your bestie wherever she may be, on a tractor, on a ski slope, in a hydro farm. I don't know, wherever she is. Share it with her. We love you.
Bye-bye.